Dave here, and this is part 3 of this Paint With Me episode, and we're going to try and develop this piece even more. Right now I'm thinking of going for like 5 episodes for this one piece, but I could stop in this session, who knows. But again, I will limit this session to just an hour and see how much I can do, right? I actually skipped yesterday because I was trying to figure out other things, you know? So I had to kind of pause this for a second and think, right? But maybe I should avoid that and just be more... I just want to get this over with. Not in a bad kind of way, but I want to kind of schedule my time and like finish this in the morning, and then later on I can try to do more thinking. So by the end of the day, or at least in the first part of the day, I've pretty much done my videos, you know. So I want to make this clear. This area right here, where the feet kind of connect with the this actual cockpit. So how do I do that? I am kind of designing as I go. You know what? I may have to bring up the guide back from the previous episode and maybe place it on top. There you go. Having a few perspective lines does help. And January 31 is coming up, so by the end of the month I'll be updating my brushes. You know, I did kind of unpublish most of them, just because I wanted to kind of revamp them and just reorganize them. And I'm kind of satisfied with where I'm at, or where I'm headed with the brushes. So. It helps if I had like a experience, you know, painting this. So, because the more experience you have, the more you can just play around with different concepts. But I guess I'm in that zone, or in the part of my journey where I'm gaining most of the experience, you know. I mean, you'll always be gaining experience, but there's a phase to it, you know. Right now I'm just kind of beginning. And maybe I did mention this in the past video, I can't recall, but seeing younger artists, you know, like 18-year-olds, the youngest I found was 18. I mean, Jesus. And they already have like a decent following, and their skill is pretty like fuck, you know, fuck. Kind of makes you want to just not quit, but it just annoys me. It's actually not enough to inspire me. I'm just kind of annoyed or pissed off, and maybe that competitive side will come out, but sometimes it's there, sometimes it's not, and I just kind of have to deal with the fact that people are just, you know, are in different phases in their life. So fuck. And I think I should focus more on just myself, you know. I remember hearing this quote somewhere, don't compare don't compare your today to someone else's. Fuck. And I'm officially retarded. Shit, how does it go? The point is to not God, I can't remember how the line goes. Hopefully, some of you, if you're listening to this and you know the quote, please just help me. Type it in the comment section below. Sometimes I make a mistake of calling the comment section the description. So sorry if I do that sometimes. So from this perspective, you can actually see the top of this part, right? So I want to make that a bit more evident. And look at how this thing is a bit more kind of organic, mechanical. And I've actually been, I think yesterday, oh yeah. So it wasn't like I did not do anything. I think I just kind of stopped. I could have like painted something, but I did search for some references. And I'm seeing some similarities again. I do like the xenomorph and kind of design, the engineer design in that kind of world. And of course what's the word? There's also this film, The Species, and I think it had like a couple of parts. The creature was actually kind of humanoid. It was a female one, and played with this very hot kind of actress. But I also like the designs of that one. Like it just looked like it had like organic parts on the outside, and it was kind of mechanical in a way. So I kind of thought that was cool. And I think it's also good to kind of balance your... The arm is not clear here. Like, where's the elbow? I feel like it should be... I don't know, let's turn off the guides first. I want to kind of do this. Control-Shift-C, Control-V, Control-T. Oh shit, you're seeing... The perspective is here, right? So you can actually, you're supposed to see the bottom or the top part more from this angle, just a bit. So the arm should be kind of lower in this side, shit. While the arm on the other side should be kind of slightly higher. I want to kind of exaggerate it just a bit. So I started watching another anime. I've been watching a lot of anime usually at night, and right now I'm starting to watch Violet Evergreen, and just by the feels of the movie I think I'm going to cry. Like eventually I just feel I will cry. And like I think it's going, I'm not sure how it's going to end, but I know myself enough that, you know, there are themes in some like films or shows that I know that if I kind of really dive into it, I'm going to cry. I actually did like the first part a bit. Like I did like how you saw the front part more, or the top part more. With the part 2 version, it's kind of too much of a profile view, like a side view. And I think I want to kind of change this part a bit and just show more of that top of the breastplate thing, right? Right now everything is pretty much kind of defined, right? But now it's more just refining the design and just the perspectives maybe a bit, but that's pretty much it. See that? We're seeing a bit more of the top here, I guess. Maybe maybe some golden brown thing here. It's got some kind of rib protection. I'm not sure how I would draw the abdominal section here. I do know that I have to kind of paint it or publish it this way, facing this way, because I've been I checked my portfolio, my ArtStation kind of portfolio, and almost all of them were facing this way, and I need to vary things up a bit, you know. And yes. I feel like the back should be more extended, right? Not sure how, but I need to try some kind of socket. And this is one of the things that's going to kind of slow you down if you don't have like enough experience or reference. I mean, I could use reference right now, but fuck it, you know? We'll just see what we can come up with, since it's going to be organic anyway. I mean, I've used reference in the part 1 and part 2, kind of on the side. So now I just have to be more playful, make use of what I know. And because I don't think you should have reference all the way. I think Proco had a nice video of this guy doing a lecture on how to use reference, or his kind of takes on the matter. And there is this thing where if you have the reference always on the side, it can actually start to lead the painting, and you kind of want to pull back and forth, and maybe kind of go back and fuck. Give me a second. Hi, Dave here, and sorry about that. I was actually I ate something. I ate my breakfast or brunch, and then I actually slept. I took a nap because I did have like a big meal. Like I ate twice, I think. So fuck. Thankfully, I didn't sleep for too long. I think I slept for like an hour or an hour and a half. So I'm pretty good. I'm pretty happy. By the way, I just saw in my subscription feed on YouTube that Ahmed Alduri kind of released this video where you can it was kind of showcasing how in the new Clip Studio Paint update you can actually import some Photoshop brushes and bring it onto like Clip Studio Paint. Now I'm not sure, I haven't watched the full video, but I'm very interested to see that, right? To kind of do that, because I do have like brushes. Not all brushes are kind of simple brushes. Like a lot of, I'm sure you have your own kind of personal set of brushes. Like a lot of them have like textures, right? And a lot of them play with like the settings here in the brush settings. So I want to see how much of that remains or can remain in Clip Studio Paint. Maybe Ahmed will kind of talk about it in the actual video. I haven't watched it yet fully, but I'm very interested to see if it's like a solid, like if it's 90% there, I'd be happy to use Clip Studio Paint, you know? So, because I know it's way cheaper, right? And it's a lifetime kind of a thing, you know? And yeah. But then again, you don't have to pay if you don't want to pay. The same thing with Photoshop. Anyway, I think we'll go back to work here. I think I was actually a bit too zoomed in last time. Like I was too like this, maybe. I want to zoom out a bit and see more of the bigger picture. I do feel the arm isn't good. Like I don't know, maybe this part is a bit low. Control T and just bring it down a bit, you know what I mean? Or maybe it's the forearm's fault for being too long. Hard to say. Now thankfully I did paint this on a different layer, on a new layer, so I can just play around with it as I please. I'll flip the canvas. Is it okay? Let me bring back the guides here. I'll decrease the opacity to like 20 or 15 or 20. And again, we'll just be spending like an hour and a half. Oh no, just an hour. I'll spend just an hour with this painting. Because I feel like it's easier to work on a painting just bit by bit and not like fully develop something at once, you know. And this is in a way kind of teaching me the value of taking my time. And this kind of counteracts my my natural kind of inclination to be more speedy and impressionistic, you know. I mean, I'm still kind of impressionistic, but doing this series, this Paint With Me series, gives me the opportunity to kind of take my time with my work. I mean, I still have the speed Paint With Me, where I'm a bit more fast with the painting. I still can't figure out, or I'm still not sure of how everything will work in the end, but you know, I have to be okay with not knowing, you know. And if you're kind of starting out like I am, like you're just figuring out what your thing is and stuff like that, it's okay if it kind of takes a while, because once you have it figured out, like at least like a bulk of it, everything else just kind of falls into place. And you'll still have to work, but it's not going to be the same. And I've said this before in past videos, where I feel like you're the strongest, I think, whenever you're starting out something, just because you haven't done it yet and you're still doing it anyway. Because it eventually, once you like, once you've done it for so long, sure, it can still be difficult at times, but it's not going to be the same as the first time you did it, you know? So for me, I'm not as strong now as I was maybe 2 years ago. Just because I couldn't just paint, you know, I couldn't put things on canvas and just start painting like I am doing right now. But it still showed up, and I wasn't very consistent because I was trying to figure out a lot of things. But I still showed up, and I spent time on Photoshop, digital rendering, painting, drawing a bit. But over time, it kind of it kind of helped me to reach this level at least, you know, just being able to have the confidence to put brushstroke to canvas on Photoshop, in Photoshop. Like, it takes a while to just do it, you know, to create kind of confidence of putting strokes on the canvas. For example, this brush has a bit of texture in it, and I do want to see how it works in Clip Studio Paint. Anyway, I feel like the arm is too short, so let me just hit L and just bring it down just a bit. It doesn't, the actual mech suit here doesn't have to be proportionate to the human body, I think, so maybe we could do this just a bit. And maybe it helps to kind of zoom out just a bit to see how it works. Yeah, I feel like the arm should be kind of bigger. I'll try this brush. I want to bring some of these grays here and just do this. Maybe. Okay, there you go. And I think there's a channel called Better Ideas. And he recently released this. Jesus Christ, you're the fucking cunt. He was talking about how successful people tend to have this kind of, like, they feel more often than not they have this common thing where they feel like they're in control of their lives for the most part. That's kind of my. I haven't watched the whole video again. I just saw a gist of it. Like a lot of their, like, they feel most of their control happens internally, and they don't really kind of focus too much on the outside world. I think that's kind of the gist of the video. And I do like that kind of perception or that take, especially during these times, even though it's kind of chaotic, and even if things are kind of becoming slightly dystopian in some areas. I think now you have to like wear 3 masks or something, and because it's more effective, and the whole anal swab thing is just amazing. Like, what if you get vaginal swabs? Would people still take it? I mean, given the hysteria, I think people will do anything to kind of tone down their fear, and it's kind of scary. But I've actually noticed that I tend to be more productive when I don't focus too much on the news, and as much as I want to listen to alternative media and see, you know, different perspectives, because there's a lot of, like, even in alternative media, they won't always agree on everything, but they're often way more, I guess, genuine. Well, because they're individuals, you know. They're not, more often than not, they're not some part of big organization. So there's often this feeling of like there's a person talking behind the camera, an actual person, and not some kind of corporate something. But yeah, I've noticed that even if I kind of want to be more informed, and I do try to at least stay updated with what's happening in the world, I do notice that when I just focus and reduce the amount of news, I tend to become more productive, and maybe you feel the same way. So how do you find that kind of right balance? Because you do have to be informed, because the way you act in this world will depend on your perception of this world, and your perception is affected by what you know or the information that you're privy to. Now, when it comes to the information that you're privy to, you don't have to actually agree with the information. What's important is that you have like different perspectives, so you yourself can kind of mix and match and kind of compare things. Because if you only have like one frame, you're not going to be able to think creatively, and I don't even think it's going to contribute to your, you know, abstract thinking and stuff like that. You're going to be just almost mechanical if you don't have enough perspectives. And again, what's so cool about having different perspectives is that you don't even have to agree with most of them, you know. But the fact that you have like a perspective of another, you can kind of use that to understand other topics, because maybe their premise of their argument is kind of shit, but the argument itself, like how it's done, kind of makes sense. So there's so many things that you can learn from just learning from others, you know, and understanding different people's perspectives. And yeah, I think the internet is kind of lagging in my area, so fuck. Let me just find my, excuse me. Sorry about that. My internet kind of stopped for a second there. Because I do have background music playing. But I do like how the arm is thicker here. Just kind of like a beefy, very thin waist. Almost like the Frank's, the Darling and the Frank's Mech. The body's kind of slim, but the arms, I mean even the hands are kind of slim, but maybe it's because of the armor as well, and the shoulders and the arms. It's pretty thick, right? I do like the look. Yeah, I think it's better. Because I think I was trying to make it too much of an Evangelion type, where the Evangelions are kind of very aggressive looking, very kind of muscular, but kind of lean and very long limbed, you know. So maybe, it doesn't work for this piece. A bit of muscle, a bit of beefiness, right? Anyway, yeah. So try to manage your time at least, or learn to like not listen to news when you want to focus more on work. For example, when I'm doing this piece right now, I obviously can't listen to anything aside from like background music, because I'm obviously also talking as I paint. I can listen to like news, I guess, or kind of like a podcast show when I'm kind of doing work that's not so heavy on the thinking side. So maybe if I do like studies, it kind of makes sense. Not the type of studies that make me kind of maybe passive types of studies, you know, like where it's more observational. It kind of makes sense to, or it's kind of okay to listen to something in the background. But if I'm trying to figure something out intensely, or if I'm designing, I don't think it's a good idea to have I don't think it's a good idea to have or to hear someone else's voice, because it's it's a distraction, I think. Let me use this round brush again. Oh shit. Let me just do this, right? Find the lighter value. There you go. I need to find a way to separate this kind of secondary helmet. And by the way, I actually even though I'm always kind of trying to find my style, I do like the explanation that we all already have some kind of style in us. Like, it shows up in our work, kind of like in our signature. You know, it just kind of just shows up. You know, obviously you can develop that kind of distinct voice, but there's always this difference. Maybe it's the way you hold the pen, or maybe it's a kind of attitude you have when doing anything. It finds a way throughout your life. I do like this lighter value, but where did I put it? Here. And I do like this yellow bit. Maybe here. I do like this. Maybe here. I don't know. This top part doesn't seem as good to me. Let me try using this brush. And maybe set it to maybe a 5% or 5 or 50% opacity, right? I'll do the same thing here and just kind of push this thing further back just a bit, right? Just that, because obviously this is not like this kind of gun in the back is not the main focus. It's going to be this thing here, and obviously this thing here even more, and this thing here even more, right? So I think we've painted for like 30 minutes, or my total painting time is like 30 minutes so far. So in terms of progress, it's okay. Although I feel like I should spend more time in the actual mech, the one piloting the bigger vehicle or mech. I'll try using this. Or these are more opaque brushes. Oh, excusez-moi. Pardon. Pardon my French, bitch. I'll try doing this. I want to bring this lower just a bit. Fuck it, the round brush is just the best. Maybe I'll need to zoom in just a bit so I can see what I'm actually doing here. And bring this down just a bit and bring this over on the top. Because I want it to follow the perspective lines a bit. So if I bring a darker value here, I want to do this. I want to really show that it's like you can see the top of the breast. And maybe I even have to adjust the head a bit. You know, to come and think of it, I feel like the vanishing point is too close. Right? So yeah. By the way, when you're trying to do some perspective stuff, it doesn't have to be... What the fuck is this? Oh my god. Oh yeah, whenever you're doing perspective, or whenever you're trying to add perspective, it doesn't have to be completely accurate. It just has to be roughly there. The same way you do like anatomy, it doesn't have to be super accurate, but it just has to be convincing enough, and that's okay. That's enough, you know. So no worries. And I think I really am becoming like an amalgamation of all my favorite artists. Hopefully I'm saying the word right. Essentially, I'm becoming a combined version of all of them. I do like the thing with the Evangelion where they have like this thing just in between the chest and the shoulder. I do like that effect, and maybe instead of, because the Eva types, they have it here, right? Or on the other side. But maybe I wanted to kind of be more on the back. It almost looks like some kind of wing. And maybe it's actually some kind of thruster, you know? Maybe it helps with maneuvering the mech, or maybe it could be like a gun. Pew 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 pew. So anyway. And again, I think I'm having fun with these sorts of paintings, just because it takes I don't have to like finish, and if you have that thing in mind, I think, because pressure is good, but for some people maybe it really drives them really, or it really makes their artwork kind of pop when they're kind of when they're feeling some kind of heat. Ew. But for me, I think sometimes it's I don't know. I think I've been watching too many speed paintings, and I've developed this kind of expectation to finish things at a short period of time, and you know, it's not necessary, right? Some paintings do take time, and the best ones generally do take time. All you have to do is kind of observe. Just go to YouTube, or if you can ask if you're following some kind of artist, ask how long their painting took. Hopefully they will answer, and you'll be surprised that it takes like it takes a couple of hours, you know. I remember seeing this question by, like, someone asked in one of my input woes. I'm not sure how to pronounce the name, but I did review his work in the art review series. Someone asked him like how long this specific piece took to kind of paint, or it was like a chick. He doesn't do like environments. He does like chicks or kind of pinup style women, hot babes, very voluptuous women, and he's according to my input or my input 2, it took about 2 hours. And when I first saw the piece, I thought for this guy it probably took him like an hour, but you know, I'm glad that he said 2 hours because it kind of makes sense, and it kind of gives you like a realistic view of how long a good art piece would take, because it was a colored piece, and even though my input kind of sketches, you can still see the kind of drawing. I'm not sure if that's actually the first line work. I think he does like a rough in the beginning, and then he'll do like a more gestural thing, or maybe he kind of constantly retries to draw a shape. So it takes a while to do the drawing, but he also kind of renders the actual like figure. So even that takes time, because he does like grayscale renderings of the body, and also like painted versions with like the skin tones and shit, and it takes time, and I'm kind of happy that I saw that. I'm going to put this arm back with this flat brush. I'm going to hit 5 for 50% opacity. I'm going to select the background here and just slightly do this. Oh shit, it's too strong. I'm gonna hit 2 for 20% opacity. I'm going to hit the background and bring the background or the background hue to this area, right? Just a bit. So now I'm kind of putting the arm further back, right? Now this area right here is becoming too consistent. So I need to add a bit of texture to the area just to kind of vary things up a bit. Maybe some branchy stuff. I don't know. Oh shit, I was supposed to focus on this area. It doesn't, it's too big of a brush, like it's meant to be for... Oh, I know, maybe this guy. It's not exactly a texture brush, but it just kind of creates a bit of variety. Variety. Right? Because the moment something becomes too kind of constant, because you've like applied so many strokes, I don't like to see that clean look. I want to see a bit of the strokes, the chaos in the beginning, and I want to see like broken parts and shit. Well, this one's not looking too bad of a concept, right? I do like this area here. Maybe it's part of the seat, perhaps. I feel like there needs to be some kind of handle here, you know what I mean? Kind of like this. I don't know how it works, but because the arm is here, right? This is almost like the hand area. The arm can extend to this point, so maybe this is where it kind of pulls things back and forth. But there's also this thing. I'm not sure what this thing is. Maybe it's to lock the legs in place, because obviously this mech suit has some kind of leg. I haven't figured that out yet, but it's there. So I'm pretty zoomed out, and I want to figure out the legs. Now you probably... I need to find a way to really show that you can see the top part of the head here. I'm sorry. Right? Oh, I need to bring back the guide, the perspective guide. Maybe the vanishing point should be more to the side, but like over to the left. Oh shit. I have to pose it like this over to the right. Because again, a lot of my pieces kind of face left, so I want to make this one face right, just to kind of add a bit of variety. You know what? Fuck it. I'm being a procrastinator, so fuck it. So yeah, just focus on yourself, and because you can't really, all you can do is influence, right? The bigger things in life, you can create some kind of change that way, but it's not going to be a direct way of changing. What's going to be more direct is your own, like you can be more direct with your own life, so focus on changing your own life. Try to find a way to be successful, and you have to define what success means to you, you know? And for me right now, I'm sharing my goals. Now, I know it's not a good idea to always share your goals, but because it can kind of make you think you've done it. But I think it's also a nice way to be accountable, and it helps people kind of relate. Because more often than not, some people, you know, people have different, but they're often kind of similar goals, you know, just to be... for example, I'm assuming you are an artist, so chances are you want to be a bit more successful in your art, and you want your finances to kind of play a role, or you want your art to play a role in your finances. You want your money to, you want your art to kind of make money as well. And I'm guessing you're not just a hobbyist, you know. I'm sure you, even if, yeah. Because I think you want, I'm assuming you want to be a bit more serious with your art and really kind of make it a part of your life, and not just some kind of secondary thing. Like you want to do it, fuck, what's the point? I can't really think right now. But yeah. So just focus on that, you know? Even if shit is falling apart, again, it's trying to find that kind of right balance, you know, because you can't do everything. So if there's like, I believe I'm going to give like a rough guess, like 90% of your work should be for you. Like spend time just, well, maybe 90% is a bit too much. Well, who knows? It's your life anyway, so you decide, right? Whoa, right? But yeah, you decide, and the point is you just have to focus more on being successful in your own kind of realm, in your own arena. And our arena is, I'm going to guess, it's in the art world, right? So let's just try to win in this area. And because for example, for you to do anything today, you do need money. You know, you can't just live in your man cave forever. You know, you need to be able to, like, having finances helps you to do other things. So you want to be able to figure out how to get more. But obviously, since you're an artist, you kind of want to make it work with your art, right? So now I'm just guessing, but you want to figure out how to do that with your art. So spend time figuring that shit out, you know? And just study other artists and how they are kind of financially, like how they made or how they created their stability, you know? Because in this, you have to find a way to make a stable income, you know? Having a job isn't a stable income, you know? I mean, it's more stable than what I have now. Oh, Nichan. Kamenasai. My point is, you need to have your own kind of business plan. You know, because especially during this lockdown thing, this takeover, I guess, of the collective. I'll just call it the collective. The collective. A lot of people have lost their jobs, you know, just because. Now for artists, it's a bit different because we do usually, a lot of us do like digital art, so it's not going to be like super, you know, like we don't have to be on site. We can do things off of the internet, so we're kind of privileged that way. But even if that's the case, you have to find a way to create your own stability, you know? And the best advice I've learned is to just establish multiple streams of income. So if one thing kind of falls apart or it's kind of low, you can always depend on your other streams. So in a way, by having multiple streams of income, you're kind of creating your own stability. And it's cool because you're kind of managing it yourself. So you're kind of being your own boss that way, right? For example, you can do like freelancing, along with maybe you have some kind of membership, and maybe you have like sporadic kind of income with your, I don't know, prints, with your merchandise, perhaps with your courses, your tutorials, your brush packs, right? Or maybe you're selling like photo reference packs. I've been seeing a lot of like photo references, and I think they do sell pretty well. Or whatever, you decide what product you want to make, you know? For me, I've always loved brushes. I used to do it to kind of just procrastinate, but I ended up kind of deciding, you know what, I could actually sell these. And yeah, so that's kind of how it started. So I want to have that in my life, that sense of security that I've done myself. Because I can't always depend on... you just want to make your own safety net, right? And what's so cool is that you get to build it. So it's kind of... you'll actually learn more about yourself when you're trying to do your own thing. just because now hopefully you have the opportunity to do so. For me right now, I have the opportunity, you know, like I have a family that supports me, and I'm not old. I'm getting old now, but well, I'm not like that old, but I'm just kind of lucky because some people are like in tough positions, you know. Some have bad relationships, some don't have any support, so that's really sad. So it is kind of easier for me, so I can't really go full board and say, oh, just figure it out and work hard. You know, a part of me kind of wants to hold back in giving that kind of advice just because I don't know what your story is. So you just have to figure out what works for you. And you know, because people have different circumstances and it's going to affect your progress, right? Let's just remove this guide, or hide it at least, and see our progress. You know what? I'm starting to think this will take like this may be a 5-part series or episode, and I think it works the best for me. Because in the last mech we did, the Ava inspired one, that looked kind of like a kaiju. I wasn't able to record the first parts of the painting, so I started off kind of with a painting already in the beginning. So it kind of just had like 3 parts to it, so if I'm starting something from like scratch, it may take like 5 parts, or essentially 5 hours. So a 5-hour painting isn't. It's kind of a long. It's a long painting, but it's not long just because I've split it like 5 parts. And I do think I'm going to take my time with the painting, or with the videos. I'm not going to pump out too much, because I have to think about sustainability. And whenever you're doing some kind of, if you plan on doing some kind of video production, you have to be careful because you're kind of taking away too much time. It can lead to you taking too much time away from actually doing your own thing. I mean, I am kind of doing my own thing right now, but I want to kind of study as well, you know. I want to work on my designs. Like, even though I'm kind of designing right now, in a way, it's not. I'm not being efficient because I'm trying to illustrate and design at the same time. So I need the opportunity to do more sketches and figure like silhouettes out or forms and do more research. That all happens behind the scenes, right? I can't do it live all the time. So I have to kind of take a chill, or be more chill with the videos, and emphasize more of the work behind the scenes than the actual public work. Because right now what I'm doing is a bit more public. You know, I do post the videos online, but I have to relax a bit and just, you know, take a fucking relax. Just fucking relax, bro. Right? And my birthday is actually coming up, and I'm going to be 24, I think. So, I'm fucking old, bro. This isn't good. And I've always thought as a kind of like a kid that if you're someone in your 20s, you've kind of figured life out by that time, and I don't think so. I don't think that's the case for most people. But it does give, you know, just because you act differently when you're kind of older, it kind of gives the illusion like you know what you're doing, but you don't really know what you're doing. Right? You just have a bit of composure as you grow older, you know? Like you're not going to immediately, panic. Well, some people still panic immediately. But, you know, I think most of us are still kind of well-maintained, you know? We're pretty good at hiding our panicking side. Why am I working on the gun? This actually looks more like a blade. But I want to define that more. We'll try a different brush. This guy's I don't know. I think it's too soft in the edge. I want it to be harder. Harder. Whoa, take it the fuck down. Take it the fuck down. Donut. And my internet is kind of lagging in the background, so. Oh, the background is a bit too. I want some of the. This one feels like a yellow green to me, so I want to bring some yellows in here just a bit. There you go. Because it's becoming to like a bluish green or cyan. Even here, just a bit. Let me just bring this here. Oh. I feel like I could have gone further with the details, but you know, this is a chill session. And yeah, 5 parts is kind of good for me. Because I'm only doing 1 video a day for like the paint with me, or not just the paint with me, but the whole art with me kind of series where I paint, speed paint, study, and design. It's going to take a while to fill up the playlists to like 100 episodes each. Right? So, but again, you know, it's okay. I can take my time. I don't have to hurry. You know, I mean, I do need that sense of urgency, just because I don't want to waste time. But you know, I need to spend more time doing personal work. That's more private. That will eventually become public. But I need to like do a lot of behind the scenes stuff with my art, and even when doing like because right now the reason why I wasn't able to do like or work on this piece yesterday is because I was trying to figure out the whole Patreon thing. Like, I don't know how. I've been studying also like other artists, like how do they do their Patreon membership thing, and yeah, I had a point. Oh, this one feels or looks like a hole, so it's almost like it's part of the background, but it's actually not a hole. So maybe it needs to be darker and less green, right? But then again, I do the what worked for me last time was doing the refinement, you know, with the smaller brushstroke last, so I can work on that in part 5 of this painting thing, right? So I don't have to rush things now. I'll try this brush. This is becoming my favorite brush, by the way. It's a simple square brush with a bit of texture. Yeah. I do like this lighter value here. And I do think it can bring out the contrast of this. Maybe we can bring it here in the back just a bit, right? Even here in the bottom, I do like. Oh, the shoulder needs to be here, so maybe. Oh, I'm too zoomed in, but it's okay. Fuck it. Let's zoom in even further. I want this value. Bring it on the outside. Whoa, singer, artist, talent. You're so talented, bro. Thanks. Step aside, bitch. And hopefully one day in this paint with me and speed paint with me, I can do like more characters once I get good at, you know, drawing and painting characters. So we're at 54 minutes now. Let me just see our overall progress. Part 1, Part 2, Part 3. Not too bad. There's a big drastic change in Part 1 or in Part 2. And I think the moment you hit Part 3 or the moment I hit Part 3, it just becomes more about refinement. And maybe it's going to be the same for Part 4, and then Part 5 is obviously the where I just kind of refine things a bit more with a smaller brush and show more pencil-like strokes, you know. But I think we're good here. So only 2 layers? Oh, wow. I'm pretty ballsy with this one. Ooh, ballsy. Anytime. Anyway. And I do like seeing like a bunch of holes. It looks like some kind of bone design. It really brings out the organic side of things, you know. And look at this nice texture here. This came actually from the photo in the beginning. So that's a cool thing about using photos. You can kind of make use of that texture and not just the actual like color palette that comes with the photo, you know. So pretty awesome. Let me define this side. Some shadow kind of makes sense, but some thickness here in the bottom, right? To really kind of show off that it's a 3D thing, like it has a bit of form. I remember doing a mech back a few videos back. It took about 2 to 3 hours, but it wasn't as good as like this. Just because I think I spent too much time on the actual, like, it was too long of a session, like I didn't take a break. And I feel like if you're kind of chill with your process, where you kind of take your time with the painting and not, if you don't have to finish it within a day, it kind of helps me to refine things more, to think. So I'm glad I did this whole thing, this Paint With Me series. I started this series with a hunch that it could probably help me or work, but now that I've actually done it, now that I've gotten some feedback because I've actually done it, you know, I have information now, you know, because I've done it, right? Jesus Christ. I can now say that, yeah, it works for me. So awesome. This one needs to be longer. I'm on the outside. Oh, not too, it shouldn't be too contrasted, or this gun should not be too contrasted just because it's in the back. So it doesn't make sense to be super strong or have such a strong kind of contrast. Because if it's too strong, you will actually start to look to it, and I want the main thing to happen here. Oh shit. To happen here, and especially here, and then here, right? I'm on the outside. Maybe in part 5 I can work on the helmet design a bit, or maybe part 4, who knows. And I don't know, maybe work on the limbs just a bit in part 4 also. Because I'm pretty much done. Like I don't have to define anything as much, because that's kind of my style anyway. My style. It kind of sounds like an excuse, but it is kind of my style, you know. I am an impressionistic kind of guy, you know. Fuck details. But then again, the devil is in the details, right? So having a bit of detail helps. Even in storytelling, you know, just adding a bit of like one detail is enough to kind of make you think about something. So I have to consider that as well and not be so chaotic all the time. Oh, I'm too zoomed in. Oh, close call. I'm on the outside. Oh, maybe I should make. I do want to see more of the chest, so fuck it. Maybe it has the same thing on the other side. Ooh, too zoomed in. Ooh. Again, you have to be aware of how you're kind of painting. Oh, let me just bring the guide back so it kind of goes like this. I'm on the outside. I like the sign here. Oh, close call, motherfuckers. Anyway. I feel like this helmet thing in the top is kind of not too defined, so let me just... What's a strong shape for it, right? It looks almost like a Spartan kind of helmet, right? And again, it has to look good flipped. So, like, if it looks good all around, it's a good painting. Oh shit, we're at 1 hour. Yes. Yeah. So that's it for this video. Let me just make a new layer, or let me just lock this. Maybe I'll hide the layer here, or the guide folder or group. I'll make a new layer. I'll make that a group. I'll call it part 4. So we'll be working on this tomorrow. Part 4. Right, so we have all the layers locked here. So let's see our progress again. Bam, right? Bam. In part one, we also kind of determine the frame, right? Because we do like extend the canvas sometimes, especially in the beginning. And then once you have like a solid kind of thing, you can work on just refining things and refining things even more. So. It's not a big change. I expected more, but I'm okay. It's okay. I do like how the gun was bigger. You know what? Let me just extend it. Oh, I know we're essentially done with this session, but let me just make a new layer. I want to extend. I did like this one more, because right now it feels too thin. Like there's so much open space here. So let me just lasso that. Control Shift C, Control V, Control T, and maybe bring it down just a bit. I don't know. Maybe hit E for the erase tool and just do this. Let me just do something with with a bit more texture for the eraser, right? Okay, not too bad. I'll have to clean it up in the next episode, but we're fine. I do like how it's a bit more filled up now. Right? This one's too thin. Bigger, right? Needs, even in this part, like there's so much open space. So maybe I'll just make a rough indication of how it should be filled up with this brush maybe. Maybe some openings are cool, but not too much. Okay, not bad. Okay, that's it for this video. Let me just lock that again. There you go. Okay. Keep drawing, keep painting, and stay free.